and he broke me spoon.
Hey everybody, gonna strip this oats today. So we're back down here with the header and field bin in the front. We've just come down to hook up the front to the header and set the field bin up, and then we'll come back down a little bit later and we'll start stripping it. So we're gonna hook this up at the moment. That's about to fire up the header, and we'll drive forward and hook it all up and make sure it's all ready to go. So hopefully we'll get this on pretty quick. Alright, so we just got the front on. Here's what those chains I was talking about in the last video are for. So this drives the front off the pickup on the front of the header there. So these wrap around and lock these two shafts together. So we have to whack them around and then you put the coupling across and that holds it all together. Then we have a lever here that locks the front into position so it doesn't fall off. So now that should be right to go, hopefully. Alright, so header's set up, field bin set up. Hopefully the header doesn't fall apart. We noticed that some of the little rubber bushings that hold the fingers on the cross auger in the front have broken away. So hopefully we don't have any dramas with that. But we'll come down in a little bit and get started. We've just got to fill up one of the fire extinguishers with some water and pressurise it. Because we've got 2 fire extinguishers on the header, but we usually have 3. So we'll get one more sorted out and then we should be right to go. Rightio, we're about ready to start. Just topped up the hydraulic oil again. We've got a pretty bad oil leak coming from the 2 lift ram, well 2 of the lift rams that lift up the front. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, Dad's about ready to start, so he's gonna fire it up and see what he can do. Hopefully we don't run into any dramas, and we'll see what we end up with at the end of the day. Alright guys, so as you would have just seen in that drone footage, we had to stop because too much oats went into the feeder house, or the elevator, and yeah, because it was so tall and thick, it was just a bit too much for it to handle because it was going a bit fast. Anyway, so we blocked up the elevator here. We brought it over, took the front back off it, and took out all the straw, as you can see on the ground here, to unblock it. And we thought we had it unblocked. Anyway, there was a little bit of straw stuck on underneath one of the chains, and when Dad's fired it back up just to clear it, must have got caught on these special guides for these chains on the elevator. So you won't be able to see it, but this chain goes up around and then goes up to the top, and underneath it there's a wooden guide that the chain rides on. So this side's got one under there. You won't be able to see it though, as I said. And basically the straw must have got caught up under it or on it, and it somehow managed to snap it off the bolts. I just racked it all and sucked it through. So we pulled out some of the wood out of the top there, and yeah, we can't really run it now because there's nothing for the chain to ride on it apart from some tin, which it'll probably damage more and rip it up and cause more dramas. So now we're sort of contemplating what we're going to do, but yeah, I think that might be us done for the day anyway. So we'll be back in a minute, yeah, once we've decided what we're going to do. Rightio, so Dad and I came back up to the workshop here and had a think, and sit down about what we're going to do about this issue. Dad said it's not a big job to pull the elevator chain out, he's done it before. It's just going to be annoying because of how time critical it is to get these oats done. Dad wasn't sure if maybe we ask Simon and Jamie to strip the oats for us, because Dad goes back to work this week and I'm working obviously, he's got tomorrow off. We are going to Dad's bringing the header back now. We're going to pull the chain out and see if we can take out the other piece of wood for the other side. And I don't think that John Deere Australia at least, would have that part in stock. They may not, John Deere globally might not make that part anymore. It would be surprising because it's quite an old header and it's a wooden part. It's probably not something they have readily available. We're not sure what timber it is. It's a very hard wood, like merbau or something along those lines. So we're going to bring it back, pull the other piece of wood out, see if we can maybe, I'll ring John Deere tomorrow, see whether or not the part is available. Otherwise Dad's going to see if he can buy a piece of hardwood the same length, and we'll cut it. We'll cut the angles on it so the chain runs on it, drill some holes. Only 2 bolts hold it on, 2 coach bolts, and we might be able to just do it that way because it is just a piece of wood after all, and we should be able to make it ourselves. But yeah, I think we're a little bit disheartened, for lack of a better word. People out there with older machinery will know what it's like. When something breaks down with something pretty recently new, parts are generally readily available. With something old, it's unlikely you'll be able to get something, and if you can, it takes time and makes life a little bit harder, having to wait, especially when you need to do something right away. But that's one of the things that happens when you use old machinery, I guess. I guess the pro is, if we can make our own parts, then it's not so bad. But we'll get it up here, pull it apart, and see what we can make from it, and we'll go from there. Rightio, we just pulled the elevator chain out of the front here, as you would have just seen. So this is the timber that's left in it. This is the one that we're calling the good one that's still in there. The one over there is missing, obviously, but you can see how worn it is. I don't know if you've got that bolt still, Dad? So there's two bolts that hold the wood in. You can see how worn out the coach bolt is. That it was just sitting in there, the nut's missing for some reason. And the other ones are lost and gone through the header probably. So we'll pull that one out and that'll be our sample. Well, we got the bit of wood out. Looks like a Hot Wheels section of track. That's how worn it is. We're just looking at the bolt then. You can see how, we think that's how high it would have originally been on it, and that's how far down it was, and they were all loose. That was the only bolt in there that had a nut, so yeah, that's our sample piece of wood. What do you reckon?
German engineering. It's lasted this long. I've had the thing for 40 years, I figured out when I brought it back in. Amazing stuff.
Alright, Dad is going to get a new piece of wood for that, the new wear piece of wood that's going to go underneath the elevator chain. And hopefully we'll be able to put it back together next weekend when we're both back here and get it back and running and hopefully finish that out and it'll be done. So we'll leave it at that for today, and we'll hopefully catch us in the next one with the header all ready to go. So thanks for watching everybody, and I'll catch us in the next one. Alright.